This right here is my 1999 Yamaha Warrior 350. Now this thing had sat for a little while. I went through and fixed it up a little bit. If you followed along, you probably know that. However, it seems like as I keep fixing stuff, I'm finding more and more issues with this thing. One of those issues was not an issue before this was parked. To be honest, I haven't done a ton to this thing, but we went through the carburetor, got that. I replaced the petcock here because that was leaking fuel. The big thing is this didn't have spark, so I had to go through, replaced one of the coils in the stator, and then that seemed to fix that problem. It's running good now. However, the last time I tried this out, I could feel the clutch slipping a little bit. I could hear it slipping, which kind of sucks because when I parked this thing, I didn't notice any clutch slippage at all. Now, it wasn't running 100%, but I'm pretty sure I would have noticed it before, maybe not. The only thing I could think of is from sitting the clutch plates, you know, for sitting about a year, maybe there was some gas in the oil because we had some major gas leakage. Maybe the gas contaminated oil kind of broke down the clutch plates. I don't know. We'll hop on here in a second and try it out and I'll show you what it's doing. It's definitely got some problems. It's overall in pretty decent shape. It's missing the front bumper and this piece, but I'm not too concerned with that. But yeah, let's try her out. Let's go ahead and fire this thing up and I'll show you what she's doing. As you can see, she fires right up. Nice. So it does run pretty good now. But if we push this clutch in, shift her down, I'll show you, it doesn't try to start moving until almost all the way out. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, just adjust your cable. That's not the problem. If I adjust it in anymore, what it does is it just, we get slack in the cable. So that's not the issue. Let me show you what she's doing. You'll be able to notice right off the bat because it's getting worse. As you can see, it's basically revving the engine, but not really gaining any momentum. So we're gaining RPMs but not speed, so it's slipping pretty bad. This thing used to be a wheelie machine, but now it just seems to slip, as you can see. Now if I rev this thing out, it's getting worse, but basically if I upshifted too early it would slip hard. Now it seems to be slipping all the time, especially now that it's warm. But yeah, she just, you can still pull a wheelie, but it's slipping a little bit, so it makes it harder. Yeah, so I don't know what we're gonna do there. Yeah, so obviously she's slipping pretty bad. You could hear it, I could feel it. It's slipping bad. So we're gonna have to go through the clutch, see what's going on with that. Also, I don't know if you heard, but the chain actually slipped on me. One thing at a time, I guess, but this, I guess, yeah, the sprockets are getting rounded over. Chain is just very noisy. You can hear it. I mean, I could lube it up, but really, I should just replace the sprockets and the chain. But I noticed the big thing, I could adjust it to help out, but the adjuster's broke on this side. So I'm gonna have to get a new adjuster. This side seems to be fine, but that one's broke. Now, good thing is this thing is super tight. Swing arm bearings, carrier bearings, everything's tight in there. So that's one good thing, because a lot of these machines, they'll be worn out. But anyways, let's get this thing in the garage and we'll get to work on it. All right. All right, I got it in here now. This is fairly new oil. I just changed it maybe one ride ago, 2 rides, something like that. And I could save this oil if I tipped it up on end, but the thing's been burning the clutch, which is wearing down the oil. It's getting oil contaminated. We might as well just drain it and swap it for new. Now that we have that all drained out, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull off this step. Just give me a little more room to work with this clutch cover here. 12mm for this bolt right here. Get that out of there. I'll come in here with a 5mm Allen and a 12mm wrench. It's on there. use a little extra leverage. Man, oh man. Wow. This one looked a little rustier. I think the other one's going to come out a little easier. Hopefully a lot easier. Yeah. That one I didn't even know. It was like it was loose. Alright, now that that's dropped down, we can remove this, which is these two bolts and a 14mm socket. Now we don't actually have to remove the brake lever at all. We can keep it right in there. We can drop that and move that out of the way. Now for the clutch cable to remove this, I'll come in here with a set of channel locks and just twist that up. And just like that, we can remove that. Now looking at this, we're missing a bolt here. See, the more you keep looking at stuff, the more problems you find with machines. This is barely tight. Pop that off. We'll just make our way around this thing. Blow away any of that dirt that we see on there. Yeah. That one's tight. Oh, that doesn't feel good. That feels like it could possibly break. Let's hope she comes out. Okay, it's coming now. Rusty. Pretty rusty. Go ahead and loose. I mean, they're not loose, but they require zero force to take them off. Now, I'm not looking at the specs right now, but these should be around 92 to 100 inch-pounds, I believe. I'll look in the manual to get the true spec, but I'm pretty sure that's what these are. And they don't feel that tight. Didn't seem to be leaking, so, I mean, that's a plus. Ugh. Nothing can ever go super easy. Pull these all out. This brake cable is like right in the way. Shove it up here for now. Rubber dead blow hammer. Tap her a little bit. See if she'll crack. I'll come in through the back here with a punch. That seemed to loosen her up. Seems to be stuck on those locating pins. She'll come off. Just gotta be patient. And there we go. There's our clutch. Tear it apart and see how they look. I can already see they look pretty thin. Alright, we'll come in here. I'll remove this little push rod and the bearing. And then I'm going to remove all these screws. holding our clutch springs. I'm going to keep one tight. That way we can remove all the other ones by hand easily. Pull that one. And the last one. Now, this one's going to have quite a bit of tension because it's holding all of your clutch springs. And we don't want to lose them, so I'm holding this with the bottom of my hand. Slide that out. Pull each one of these springs out. Now there's a tab right here bent over, so this nut won't move. So we have to bend that back out before we remove the nut. Just like so. Now we'll come in here and pop this off. The nut, that little safety washer, and then we can pull our clutch right off of here. Pull that pack right out and we'll check everything out. Now I removed this clutch basket, and if you can see that, there's definitely some ridges in there. Now you don't really want to see those ridges. The clutch disc can get caught in there and cause the clutch to stick, and yeah. Now if you're on a budget and you don't want to replace this is definitely on a budget. Take some sandpaper and we can sand those edges down until they're smooth, or smoother anyways. And it'll save you quite a bit of money because they don't give these baskets away, especially with the ring gear on there. And this is definitely a budget machine. So we're going to do this for now. The only problem is we're actually widening the gap here. So it's not recommended, but I'm just telling you, you can do it to save a little money. After enough sanding, you'll smooth right out. Still a little ridge there, but if you compare that to this one here, it's a lot better. Let's go ahead and open up this old clutch and just take a peek in here. I can tell they're pretty blackened. Oh boy, those got warm. You can tell the discoloration on these. They should be like silver steel looking. And these have some bluing and definitely miscolored. See where it's slipped there. Yep. Now we can take a measure on these. Now these friction plates, the measurements should be between 0.16 and 0.12. 0.116 and 0.12. As you can see, 0.115, 116, very close to the limit. They're just very discolored and they're super slippery. That's why they're slipping. Now I was surprised in the service manual, I actually didn't find a wear limit to this. It just showed like the squiggly marks because it's worn. It said if those are in there, then replace, obviously. But I was surprised it didn't give a wear limit to this. I went ahead and sanded these all down. They're not perfect, but they're way smoother than there was. There's still some little marks in there. It should be much better. And instead of opting to replace it with quality plates, we're going with the cheap eBay special, $42 for this whole set. Now if we was to just replace the friction plates and the steels, it would, with the quality parts anyways, it would be more than $42. But I wanted to see how these work, so we're going to give it a whirl. It's already pre-assembled. I don't really trust the torque on here, so I will double check that, and then we'll install it. So let's go ahead and check that right now. Surprisingly, they're all torqued down. Now, one thing I normally do with all my friction plates is I actually soak them in oil before I install them. However, this thing's already together and compressed, so I'd have to, for the oil to actually get in there and do its job, I'd have to tear it apart. And most people that buy these are not going to tear them apart. I could dip this in oil, but I don't really think it's going to get on those friction plates as good as it could, because the springs are forcing it closed. So we're just going to install it just like this, because that's what most people would do. Just going to take the basket here. I mean, it seems okay. I didn't sand off a lot. I mean, there's not a lot of play in there. A little bit. But it moves pretty smoothly, so let's throw it on, see how it does. Now, before I install the clutch, I'm going to go around and clean up the old gasket on this case. Now, I've never actually used one of these cheap clutches before, so I'm curious to see how it works and see how it lasts. Because 40 bucks for that whole thing is pretty cheap. Wipe out the rest of this old oil in here. I'm going to take a little fresh oil on my finger and just rub it on this bushing. And then inside the clutch. And now we can install the basket. And then this slotted washer is going to go on next. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking, because you can't just throw this on here and put that nut on. The nut won't even fit through here. So we have to remove our clutch springs and pull this apart. So we'll remove those. I'm still going to try this without soaking the friction plates, because honestly I've never done it before, and some people were telling me it's a waste of time to soak them and this and that. So I just want to, we'll pull this apart. They kind of look like they did have some oil on them. If you check out the little dots on there, I'm not sure how much, but maybe they're all set. Go ahead and put this clutch pack in there. Washer goes on. Then our nut. We'll set our torque wrench. This tool's gonna hold our clutch. And then we can come in here and torque that nut down. Try to hold it right here. There we go. Loosen that up. And now we can come in here and bend that tab over. Just like that. Now that's not going to go anywhere. Put our clutch springs back in. Now I'm seeing all these bolts I took out, and they never had any Loctite in there. I like Loctite in all my clutch bolts. That nut we don't have to, because there's a locking washer, so it's not going to go anywhere. These I like to use a little Loctite, just in case. Gonna use the impact just to speed run them in. Now we can come over here and actually torque these down. Beautiful. We'll just run back through, double check. Nice. Now we can install our throw out, which goes right in there. Now what this does right here, the bearing is just to help it rotate, but what this does, that throw out goes right in here. So when you pull the clutch lever, it pushes that in, and then in turn it opens that clutch up to release those plates. Then when you release the clutch lever, it goes back and it puts the spring pressure puts the pressure on the plates, and that's what gives you your grip. Now this needs to be cleaned off, and surprisingly that gasket didn't even break. I am not reusing it. We'll throw a new one on. As you can see, it's pretty brittle, but we'll get to cleaning this. Just rip off this old stuff, then we'll use a razor blade around it to clean it up properly. Just come in here and start working it. A little bit of a time-consuming process, but to get a good seal, you want it nice and clean. We'll obviously clean this out afterwards. Got the case cleaned out. We're going to go ahead and install our dowel pin there, locating pin. Figure out which way this new gasket goes, just like so. And set that in there. Got our case that's cleaned off now. We'll go ahead and pop that on. Get all these bolts in here. Started anyways. That's right, this is going to go here, so we're not going to want to put these bolts in. We'll just run these in. Alright, now we can grab our clutch cable here, and I'll install it in there. Oh, I did the wrong bolt, didn't I? Pull that one out. Now that is going to go just like that. I went and stole a bolt off one of my other machines that matched, because remember we were missing one in here. Nice. Just gonna throw this dipstick in here so we don't get any contamination. Now we can run around this real quick and just torque it down. I'm actually pretty surprised that none of these are stripped out. I was able to torque every single one down with no issues. Even the one that was missing. That's surprising that a bolt was missing and it wasn't broke or stripped or anything like that. Yeah, we're good there. So just want to pull that cable in. Feels great. Move that out of the way. All right, wipe away all the oil. Install our drain plug with the filter, making sure that plastic is going up. And make sure it starts by hand. Once you get it started, then you can bring your socket in here just to speed up the process. It doesn't take much pressure, just a little bit, and that's good. Get that out of here. Now I'll get that skid plate back on. As I mentioned, I can't get that drain bolt out without removing this skid plate. Kind of unfortunate. And it almost makes it by, it's just not quite. Not a huge deal, it's just these 4 bolts and that's it. And we'll tighten them up. Oop. Better get that started. Now, as I had said, I just changed the oil in this thing one ride ago. So I don't think the oil filter is going to be contaminated. I'll just leave it on for at least a couple more rides, then maybe I'll swap her out. Now, I still got to throw this floorboard and stuff on there, but before we forget, we better throw some oil in here. Fill it up. Dipstick, make sure we're good. Not even on the window yet. Getting better. Right where we want to be. Get rid of this. Alright. Get the spring in there for the brake. Bolt started. I'll get these on. Definitely made sure I threw a little grease on that one. And we can get this 12 in here. And the last bolt we touched, but we don't want to forget that right there. Alright, this brake cable. Keep that down here, otherwise it'll melt on that exhaust. Let's get over here and fire it up. Choke. This thing starts good. Oh, she wanted the choke. Hop on here. Now another thing I don't know if I mentioned, these springs feel easier. Maybe it's because the clutch discs aren't, no, that wouldn't matter. Anyways, another thing I don't know if I mentioned was when I clicked it into gear, another thing I don't know if I mentioned is when I clicked it into gear, oh, she's sticking right there. But they're new, so maybe that's why. May have to adjust this now. Let's see here. Get some free cable there, so let's see. She wants to. Maybe because the clutch is not broken yet, but she wants to engage. I think we just gotta take it out, give it a good test run, and then let that clutch work itself in there. Hopefully it's good. If not, we probably need a whole new, the outer case, the clutch hub, or the basket, whatever it's called. Anyways, let's bring it out and find out. Let's give her a run, see how she goes. I backed it out of there and it was still acting up, but those springs are much easier than the ones that were on there. But yeah, see, it just wants to go. Like, it's hard to shift it. It was doing that before too, but I figured the new clutch might help. We'll see. Hopefully it warms up and it'll be fine. I can tell it's grabbing good right now. I gotta put the sleds away. It's greening up around here. Oh yeah, no, it's grabbing good. Oh, that's much better. Hopefully the the problem with the wanting to creep ahead goes away as I drive it a little bit, because I like it actually feels torquey now. Before it just slipped. She's a little low to the ground. Gotta break that clutch in the right way, right? Full throttle. This is a fun machine, but I am gonna get soaked. You don't have too great a mud protection on this. Oh, so much better. Now, you want to pull a wheelie, you don't even have to try, I bet. Whoop. I guess she's got a little sputter to her. It's not bad, but right there when I give it full throttle, it just bogged out. I thought I had that figured out. This thing does have a Chinese carb on it, but oh boy, I keep forgetting, don't I? Oh, it's still wanting to go ahead. Like right here, I can't. I bet it's because of those grooves in the clutch basket. I got it in the neutral, but not very easily. Clutch all the way in. Let me throw it in reverse. You can see it wants to go backwards, and it just killed the engine. She's grabbing good now, but we still have that problem where it's not like disengaging the clutch. So I can't even take it out of reverse without shutting it off. And I can move it ahead. That's too bad. Now I do have another Warrior engine. I really thought this would work. Usually it does. I don't know how the clutch is on that thing. Trying to think what else would cause that. I really think it's the clutch discs they're sticking there because of those grooves. Even though I sanded them smooth, they're still there somewhat. That's too bad. I think there's just so many problems with this thing. I don't even want to sell it to anybody. I think I'll probably end up keeping it, just because of all the problems. And we put a cheap clutch in it. I kind of want to see how the thing lasts anyways. Might have to do a new basket or a used one. Boy, it's getting torn up a little bit. We're not slipping though, so at least we accomplished one thing. These 350s, you wouldn't think, nowadays a 350 is a kid's machine, it seems like, but these are good torque machines. They really are. Like, I mean, it's so easy to drive these things. So easy. It's like my Honda 350X, that three-wheeler. Super easy to drive. Just has great torque. These are about the same engines. They're single overhead cams, both around 350cc, 340 something. Now this is a 2-valve engine. The Honda 350X is 4-valve probably. I've actually never been into the engine, but I do know it's got like dual exhaust coming out the front, so it's got at least 2 valves for the exhaust. I would imagine it's got 2 valves for the intake as well. But then again, I've seen some weird stuff. I've seen the Yamaha 660s They run 3 intake valves, 2 exhaust valves, so who knows. She's grabbing good though. I hope the audio comes out much better on this one. This thing is just so loud, it kind of distorts my voice and it's really crackly. I guess one thing I could do is just not talk, but oh yeah. Getting that traction, or the friction, I guess, back so we can pull wheelie. So much better. It feels like it has 50% more power because it's not slipping. Oh. You know what is slipping? I heard that chain slip. I don't know. One thing after another. I do know. Boy, the parts for this thing took forever to come in. Let's see. Oh, maybe. It's a little better. It's still doing the same thing. Parts took forever to come in on this thing. Same thing. I got some customers' machines. I'm waiting on parts. I don't know what's going on. These things finally come in. I actually ordered new sprockets and a chain too. I haven't got that yet. That's why I'm not really too concerned about slipping, because I'm just replacing everything anyways. The only thing I don't want to do is I don't want to break the chain, have it break the case like it already has. As you can see, there's JB Weld there. It doesn't seem to be leaking, luckily, but I'm just... I think it might be getting better. I think I'm going to run it around more. It's still doing it, but I think it's a little better. I'm going to run it around a little bit more before I tear it back apart. Don't worry, I won't bring you guys, won't make you go through that again, but... Fun toy. Brakes work on it. I don't know about that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll catch you on the next one.